through it all, what have you learned about yourself in terms of what made you special as an elite athlete?
Well, it's funny. I don't know if I was telling someone the story about Diana Nyad, who just unbelievably finished. Yeah.
Yeah. 64.
When I was 14, I swam in my first nationals, and she was working with ABC Sports and was interviewing me. And I mean, it was my first interview, and it was, for me, I was just scared to death. And the first question she asked is, well, what do you attribute to your success? And I just kind of remember my coach saying, God, you have a lot of natural talent. I said, natural talent. and she looked at me like, and I didn't know what that meant at that time. And so, but sports always came easy to me. And I realized that as I got older, you have to kind of adjust to the kind of, like, your age. And that was just a big thing for me is I wanted to do what the 20-year-olds were doing when I came back to swim for 2008, but I couldn't. I mean, I had to adjust my training that was best for me and not best for 16, 17, 18-year-olds. So.
Got it. And you also talked about your ability to recover, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so I was always one of those athletes that, oh, and by the way, I did start working hard after. It wasn't just natural talent, but I was one of those athletes that could recover really quick, and to the point, like, if I'd have a surgery, the doctors were, I mean, I would have like a knee surgery, and 2 days later I'm biking 21 miles. I don't know, I mean, I pushed the limit, but I also would recover really quick. And so one thing that was so hard for me was recovery. And when I swam in my 4th Olympic Games in 2000 for Sydney, I was out in California at Stanford training with Richard Quick out there, and he had said to me, okay, the first 3 months you're older now, and the first 3 months you're not doing anything until you get into shape, so nothing with your heart rate over 150. So that worked out well. I trained well with that. But what happened was there was one workout where we got in and we warmed up a little bit. It was probably like 4 or 5 months in, and he had us do some dive sprints, and my times were way off. And he said, Dara, he said, you need to get out right now. I said, why? And I was always the type, except when I was younger, that would do more than I had to. Like, if I was done swimming, and then I'd run to the track and do something there, or I'd go bike, or I mean, I always did more than I was supposed to. That was my personality type. And so he told me to get out. I said, why am I getting out? And he said, because you need to recover. And I didn't know what that was at that point. I never had a coach who let me recover. Everything was always, I mean, you maybe got 2 weeks off a year in swimming when, you're in your teens and 20s. And he said, and that means no running, nothing. He goes, you sit on your couch, eat popcorn, and just watch TV. And I did it. It was killing me, but I did, this was a Friday, and I did it. And Monday, I had probably one of the best practices of my life. And so when I decided to train for '08, again, the first week, I'm like, well, I'm doing what the 20-year-olds are doing, and I lasted like a half hour in my second practice that day. Like, I couldn't do it. And so I went from 9 workouts a week from when I was 33 and younger to 5 workouts a week, which I mean, my thought process was like, well, how am I going to do this? If I'm not doing the yardage and what everyone else is doing, how am I going to be able to keep up with them? And I realized really quick that it's individualized, and if I can't recover, I can't be good for the next workout, so I have to allow my body to rest. So it was kind of mental, too, to accept that, but once I did, it made it much easier.